All right, buckle up, deep divers, because we are heading straight into Gotham's underbelly today. We're talking episode 2 of The Penguin, Inside Man, and with the intel you guys have dug up, well, this is less of a deep dive and more like spelunking through the Batcave of Gotham's
Oh,
elite.
trust me, just like that Batcave, we've got layers to uncover here. Even the title, Inside Man, it's got that double meaning, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
It's Penguin playing the Falcons and the Maronis,
Yeah.
right? Classic Oz. But then it's like we're also inside these characters' heads,
Yeah.
especially Sophia Falcone.
Speaking of Sophia, one analysis just went straight for the jugular, suggesting that voice tormenting her in Arkham, the one calling her Hangman, could be Harley Quinn.
Oh, wow.
And well, I gotta admit, that theory, that threw me. What do you think?
I mean, Harley is, she's a wild card, and her connection to the Joker, it does make you want to connect those dots.
Right.
But if you look at how that voice is actually affecting Sophia, it feels less like some outside force and more like her own guilt and paranoia, bubbling up.
It's like her own subconscious is just throwing those accusations and doubts right back at her.
Exactly. And that's where the whole hypnotic regression therapy with Dr. Rush gets really interesting, right? Because you've got that red light above the cell door during those flashbacks.
Yeah.
Super creepy.
Yeah, major horror movie vibes.
Right. And it's subtle, but it just makes you question everything you're seeing. It's like we're looking at Sophia's memories through this warped lens of Dr. Rush's, influence.
It's like he's adding fuel to the fire, almost accidentally, but still. And speaking of fire, those flashbacks to Alberto's murder, brutal.
Oh, yeah. Brutal. But I think they show us something really crucial about Sophia's, her whole mental state, right?
Yeah.
Because this is beyond just grieving her brother.
Oh, for sure.
This is deep-seated trauma.
Yeah, and you picked up on something. I totally miss this, the way she keeps, clawing at her neck. She even has marks. That's more than just anxiety, right?
Right. It's almost like she's trying to physically rip away the weight of this legacy, the Falcone legacy. And those marks are like a visual representation of the chain she's trying to break free from, wouldn't you say?
Wow, I did not catch that at all. Makes you wonder what other scars, physical or, emotional, that she might be carrying.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of where things get even more interesting. Remember that painting in Dr. Rush's office? Scream louder, scream twice. That's not just set dressing. That speaks directly to Sophia's whole internal struggle.
Ooh, okay, break that down for me. I'm intrigued.
So on the surface,
Yeah.
it reflects this whole power struggle we've been talking about, right?
Right.
Sophia, Oz, they're trapped, they're stifled, they want their voices to be heard. But I think it also speaks to Gotham itself, a city where those cries for help, they often just meet with indifference or, even worse.
It's like Gotham itself is just one giant pressure cooker, and everyone's just trying not to get burned. So we've got Sophia wrestling with these demons, but then there's the puppet master himself, Oz. One recap called out his whole inside man strategy, and they're not wrong. He's playing a dangerous game, framing the Maronis while cozying up to Sophia. Is he really in control, or is he just ridiculously lucky?
That is the million-dollar question. And the answer is probably a bit of both. I mean, he thrives on chaos, that's for sure, but he's also got this knack, like he lands on his feet.
Every time. It's like he's playing 3D chess and everybody else is stuck with checkers. Framing Sal Maroni for Alberto's murder and then convincing him it was a good move. Masterclass in manipulation.
It worked, which speaks to his other great strength, which is reading people. He knows how to exploit their insecurities, their weaknesses, adapt to how they move. He might not have some master plan, but he knows how to work chaos. And honestly, that makes him even more dangerous.
He's a force of nature. And much like a seasoned gambler, he just throws out lines like, what's the difference between the mafia and the government? One of them's organized. Dark humor, sure, but it tells you how he sees the world. He gets it. Power, even corrupt power, it can be a tool.
Totally, totally. He's not just a thug, he's a strategist. He's always thinking a few steps ahead. And speaking of strategy, remember that scene where he's just staring at that missing person poster? The sources can't seem to decide if that's about Victor, his right-hand man. What's your gut telling you? It's like they're dangling that thread in front of us.
Right.
Go ahead, tug on it, see what you find. But maybe that's just me going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Happens sometimes. Honestly, I'm more interested in how Oz just navigates, the minefield of egos in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because the tension between him and Johnny Vitti.
Pure Shakespeare.
Dude, the animosity just rolls off them in waves. It's this clash of styles.
For sure.
Right. You've got Vitti, all slick back hair, fancy suits, the old guard.
Right.
All intimidation, pure brawn. And then there's Oz, scrappy, cunning, Gets his hands dirty. Their scenes together. So good.
So good.
Just crackling with this unspoken threat, like two predators just circling each other.
Totally. Like we're watching the changing of the guard happen right before our eyes.
Right.
The old ways of doing things in Gotham. Yeah, they're dying and Oz is ready to like dance on their grave.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of shifting power, we got to talk about Sophia's little battle, within the Falcone family.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I was floored when one analysis was like, her own uncle, Luca, he might be her biggest problem. I was like, what?
No, that's family, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the ones closest to you that are holding the,
The sharpest knives.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Scabby the...
But what makes you think Luca sees her as a threat? Because he's putting on this whole concerned uncle act, wants to send her off to Lake Como for safety.
See, and that's what makes him so dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's calculated. It's all a performance.
It's giving, very much giving.
To disarm, to manipulate.
Yeah.
Remember that little thing from one of the sources about Sophia's cousin?
Oh, the one who got shipped off to boarding school?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
One analysis thinks Luca was behind that whole thing.
No way.
Eliminated a rival, solidified his own position.
Oh, wow, that's cold. Ruthless.
So he's like sidelining rivals, and then he's trying to just gently nudge Sophia out of the picture.
Exactly.
That's a power move.
Classic.
If you're keeping score at home, that's how you do it.
That's Gotham for you. It shows you, man, trust. That's a luxury, these crime families. They just can't afford, even amongst blood. Which makes me think about that painting in Dr. Rush's office again.
Oh, yeah?
Scream louder, scream twice. It's like Chekhov's gun. You don't put something like that in there unless
It's going off.
it's gonna blow.
Right.
What's your take on that imagery, that symbolism?
Oh, man, I'm so glad you brought that back up because it's so good.
Right.
On one hand, it's literally the power struggle between Sophia and Oz playing out visually.
Right.
They're trapped, they're silenced, they're desperate to be heard.
By anybody.
Yeah, but then it goes deeper, right?
Yeah.
Because it also becomes about Gotham.
Yes.
This city that just thrives on silence, on secrets.
It's heavy, man.
It is. And all those cries for help, they're met with indifference or worse, violence.
Or worse, yeah.
It's enough to make you want to scream.
Makes you want to scream. Speaking of, did you catch that line from Oz about the mafia and the government?
Oh, you mean the one about organization?
Yeah, I had to rewind it.
Yeah. So good.
Casually brutal.
It's the delivery, right? Just throws it out there.
He makes it sound like a joke,
Yeah.
but it's like, that's how he sees the world, man.
Totally.
He might be a gangster, but he understands how power works,
He gets it.
even when it's messed up.
And that brings us to a theory that had me grabbing my tinfoil hat, all right?
Okay, hit me.
This new drug Oz keeps mentioning.
Yeah.
One source thinks it could be venom, as in Bane breaks Batman's back, super strength venom.
Okay, so we're going full conspiracy theory now. Yeah, I know, right?
But you know what? Knowing Oz,
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past him.
I know, right?
And if he's involved with venom, that's a whole different ballgame, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's not just Carmine Falcone's little empire anymore.
Oh.
We're talking city-wide power grab.
Oh.
Maybe even, I don't know, national. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little carried away.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I'm like spiraling down the rabbit hole.
You're like,
This could be huge. I'm getting chills.
right.
All right, okay, before we go full tinfoil hat,
Yeah.
let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Okay.
Because we got to talk about just the nods to other classic crime dramas.
Oh, yeah.
Because several sources were like, yo, The Penguin, it's very The Sopranos. And I got to say, they're not wrong.
Spot on.
Right.
Both shows just nail that feeling of tension.
Yes.
And they really dig into the family stuff.
Oh, the family stuff is brutal.
But in the context of this world, right? Organized crime, it's...
The way Oz clings to his mother,
Oh, it's rough.
even when she is being so manipulative, just awful to him.
That way it's...
Painful to watch.
It's heartbreaking.
Okay.
But you see those parallels to Tony Soprano,
Totally.
his family.
The messed up family stuff?
They both just want that love.
I want it so bad.
that approval.
Yeah. Even if it's like toxic.
Right, even if it's twisted. It makes you think, though.
Oh, yeah.
How much of who we are is shaped by that, right?
Family.
Family, exactly.
100%. And we can't forget about the like web of alliances
Right.
and betrayals.
Oh, yeah, because who's playing who?
You never know. You're constantly trying to figure it out.
Who's going to flip?
Who's going to end up, taking a dirt nap?
Exactly.
Which brings us to that ending.
Oh, yeah?
Sophia and Oz joining forces.
Talk about an alliance.
That's uneasy.
Right. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
But you know what they say about playing with fire?
Someone's getting burned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they're both playing this high-stakes chess game, right? And the thing is, it's not just about winning or losing anymore. It's life or death out there.
And every episode, the stakes get higher, the board gets more crowded, and that's what makes this show so gripping. It's not just about who's in charge. It's about what it takes to get there, the cost,
Man, the souls that get crushed along the way. I thought I had Oz figured out after the first episode. Ambitious, ruthless. Yeah, but just another crook climbing the ladder. But this deep dive with all the stuff you guys found, it's like there's so much more going on under the surface.
He's a puzzle, isn't he? Wrapped in an enigma
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
monocle. But really, the thing that gets me is how he walks that line.
Totally.
Calculated mastermind, yeah, but then, bam, reckless opportunist.
Oh, yeah.
Like that whole Venom
Oh,
thing.
my God, right?
That could change everything. Or
Yeah.
it could blow up in his face.
Spectacularly.
Right. But you get the feeling that's what he lives for.
That's the thing. I think you're right. He needs that chaos.
He needs it.
He's like, bring it on. He's all in, no matter what.
And we're just sitting here waiting to see if he knows when to fold.
Right. Or if all this ambition, if that's what takes him down.
Because you know it's going to be something.
Oh, it's going to be good. Definitely going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But one thing's for sure, Sophia and Oz, they are walking a tightrope right now.
One wrong step, it's over.
And knowing this show, it's going to be a long way down.
That is what makes it so good, though, right? Because you never know what's coming next.
I mean, the creators have just built this world, and it's familiar, right? Gotham, we know Gotham, but then they flip it, and it's like, wait, what? You're constantly guessing?
And those little details, they always matter. You miss something, and then bam, it comes back around.
It's the best. Well, Deep Divers, that's another deep dive in the books. We broke down the power plays, the symbolism. We even did a little psychoanalysis.
We got our hands dirty with the grittiest corners of Gotham.
And you know what? I think we came out the other side with a newfound appreciation for this show.
The storytelling, the characters, just phenomenal.
Make sure you join us next time because we're diving into another corner of the entertainment world and we want you there with us. Keep those theories coming and never forget, in Gotham, sometimes the truth finds you.